Hello, my name is Hex. Back at it today. Please like and subscribe if you like my content. Today's video, I'm going to tell you about what you might expect with a new partner who could have NPD and how they might treat your pets. And if you allow me, after that, if I can be selfish, I'll explain a very oddball relationship I once had with my ex-wife's dog. So, to start here, it's all going to depend on a few things when you meet someone. If you meet someone that's a narcissist, is their mask still on? If it is, that could be a good thing. If their mask is still on, nothing's going to happen. They're still in the acting phase, you could say. That's why I always say you have to take it slow. Now, with pets, I'm working on a theory about narcissism. I think there's different levels, or there's a spectrum to it. The worst narcissist you can get is the bottom feeder one, the parasite. No job, drinks all the time, mooches off you. That type, if you can figure out if they're a narcissist, they, can get very angry. See, our emotions are often out of control, and they could kick your dog. They could poison the dog. It may or may not be fatal. They could let the dog out, any number of cruel things. Pets are in the way for us. That's the way we look at pets. They're just in the way, taking away our attention. You should be giving us attention, not some pet, dog, cat, or whatever. I'm just going to say a dog from here on out. It just makes it easier. Yeah, the bottom feeder one, nothing is beneath them at all. So, pretty easy to identify. The thing is with those, they can't keep their mask on too long. So if you drag things out over a few months' time, what happens? The narcissist, they will just replace you. They might smear your name behind your back. But those type of narcissists, they really can't hold it together too long. 2 to 3 months tops. So if you make it past that, when their mask falls off, you could be in danger. And they are very cruel. So they could send your pet up to the Rainbow Bridge. So they could really hurt your pet and kick it around. The best case scenario, you end up with a communal narcissist. This can be a good thing in some ways, at least. They won't necessarily hurt the dog, but they'll use the dog for fuel. Supply, I guess, is the word that people use more commonly. Supply, attention. They could use the dog for supply, and that could be a good thing for them. Here's an example. They'll take the dog out for a walk. Let's just say it's in the rain, right? And they'll live stream it or something like that. Like, oh my gosh, I'm taking this dog out. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And they'll pet the dog and put on this show like they're the greatest person in the world because they took this dog out, right? And look at everyone. Come on. I'm in the rain. I'm getting wet. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing for this dog. Then when they get in, they just, they don't give a crap anymore. Get away from me. Dry off. Go in your cage. Leave me alone. Dogs are in the way. So, and another thing to watch out for in the beginning of a relationship, you really can't diagnose someone with NPD right off the bat like that. There are warning signs though, red flags, people that love you or say I love you within a few weeks' time. It has happened, I guess, in this world, but it's not a good thing. It's not nowadays. Nowadays, it's probably a really red flag to watch out for. Alright, so let's move on then. There is another disorder called histrionics. It could be that. There's mood disorders. So with narcissism, I can speak for that for myself. I grew up with many people that were narcissists in my family. I didn't know what I was, and I don't think they still know what they are. Being a narcissist and studying all about it, I could speak for my relationship with pets up until I met Jack. I didn't really like pets. I didn't want to be around them. They were an inconvenience. They were in my way. mooching off me. They just want food, they want love, and they'll ignore you. Well, that all changed a few years ago, so I'm going to be a little bit selfish here and tell you my story. Alright? By the way, as an aside, if you have comments or questions about who you're dating and if they're a narcissist or not, you can email me or leave a message in the comments. I'll try to respond as fast as I can. Well, anyway, met this dog, Jack, my ex-wife's dog, not my dog, her dog, right? So, go in there to her house, and this giant black dog's there. It looked like a cane corso, but it wasn't. It was just a huge dog. So then she had to get in between us and try to like have the dog not kill me. So within like maybe 10 minutes, the dog was okay with me. Well, actually, no, I'm lying. It was only like 5 minutes, because I started giving the dog ham from the fridge. And after a few barks and give me some dirty looks, we got along great. For as much as a narcissist can get along with a dog, I mean, but things got worse, don't worry. So we went, this was before I lived with her. I moved in with her, and what happened is the dog would try to get on the bed, and I would kick it off. This went on every night. I didn't want a dog on the bed because dogs go outside and get muddy, hop on the bed, and where's the mud going to go? Think about that. So I just didn't want the dog on the bed. I could tell it bothered her, but I don't care. Yeah, I'm a narcissist. Come on. I don't care about these things. So we finally agreed that the dog could sleep on the floor, and I was okay with that, and then I wasn't. We play a lot of games, we manipulate, so we had a fight about that because I need to have fights, drama, that's my supply. So, dog was out of the room, fine, solved the problem. Well, we didn't, so what would happen is at 2, 3 in the morning, every night, this dog would come bounding in like an idiot, waking me up, freaking me out, because I'd be in a dead sleep and I would just hear this dog bounding in. Now, her door would not lock to her bedroom. It was broken. Something happened to it. Not sure what or how it happened. I just couldn't fix it. And the dog, I guess he took advantage of that. So I kept putting various objects in front of the door. That presented another problem because he would knock these objects over. I mean, it was just a nightmare with him. He would not stop coming in the room. I would have to keep kicking him out. So this went on and on and on for a few months. And at this point, he just won't quit. So what happened is one night I had my son over, and my son, I was only seeing him a couple times a week because I was going through another divorce at the time. My son was getting up and trying to leave the house in the middle of the night. He has been sleepwalking. He had something else going on. I don't want to say it. Well, anyway, the dog started barking, and I freaked out. And my ex-wife at the time, she just cannot hear anything. So I got up and was checking it out. The dog was barking because my son was trying to get out of the door. So I put him back to bed and solved it. I couldn't believe the dog did that. I was so shocked. I let him sleep in the room that night. And, okay, then the next night, same thing. He came bounding in. So I just gave up. And I'm like, he did a good deed. Let him in the room. Fine. Well, he understood I didn't want him in there. So he was going in and out and trying to sleep on my ex-wife's side of the bed on the floor. Maybe I wouldn't see him. I think that was what he was trying to do. I don't know. Well, anyway, then another day, it was Sunday morning, and we were all in the living room eating breakfast, and the dog came out, and I was petting him, and he loved my son. And then my ex-wife, her son had a little dog, and this little dog was sitting on the couch, and it went to attack my son, and Jack got up in between them super fast before I could even register what was happening. I mean, it was in the morning, like 9 o'clock or something. I mean, I'm still figuring out where I'm at that point, you know. So this dog saved my son. But, you know, the thing is, it wasn't necessarily that that little dog would have killed my son or anything. It's just the fact that I didn't have the reflexes to help. And this dog, Jack, was right there in between them, standing there barking, and, you know, saved my son from at least one bad bite, you know, and protected him. From that day forward, I fell in love with him. Big stupid dog. So, me and Jack, right, and we became best friends. So the thing is, like, I would feed him and take him out for walks. I took him to parks. I'm not sure what happened. I don't understand it. I don't know. I'm just telling you what happened. I really fell in love with that dog. I really did. And what ended up happening is I was having arguments with my ex-wife about me feeding him so much, whereas before I didn't like him. I never hardly fed him anything. You know, so I don't know what happened. I had all kinds of dogs throughout my whole life. I had various pit bulls, cats, tons of cats. I don't get it. I don't know. Just this one dog out of my entire life. And I'm old, so I don't know. He made me fall in love with him. And I really... See, the thing is, they say that narcissists don't have empathy. But that's not been proven. And if you check the DSMs, DS5, I believe. I don't believe in that, I'm sorry. I think we have it, but I think the problem is that it's hard for us to access it because we're so afraid of everything. Like the covert narc, we're just afraid of everything. So if we access empathy, it can lead to pain and heartbreak. We're full of pain and agony. We're constantly suffering, constantly internally, and we don't have a way to regulate it unless you regulate it for us. You have to regulate that. It's your responsibility, not ours. That's the problem being a narcissist. So I will just say that what began to happen is I started to think that, you know, maybe there's something wrong with me. That was the beginning of this whole thing where I started to change. So I started accessing my empathy a little bit. And I am just guessing, maybe because a dog is safer than a human. It was something about this dog, he just would not quit. I kicked him off the bed, I locked him out of the room, I threw him out of the room, I yelled at him, I sprayed water on him, I got him up in the middle of the night and dragged him out of the room. He just would not give up. Every night he wanted to be by me. And my ex-wife didn't even understand that. And to this day, I don't know what that was about. It's like he latched onto me and my son. And my son was only there a couple days a week, like I said, but he really latched on. And it's a hard thing to talk about. I've been avoiding it all day because I know the ending is not going to be good. The ending is sad. So, well, anyway, I'll wrap this up then. I fell in love with this dog, and my daughter fell in love with him too, my son. He loved me and my kids, and they loved him back. And the thing is, here and now, what I'm going to tell you is that I was able to listen to people more. How does a dog change someone? I don't know. But I'm just telling you what happened. My daughter called me a narcissist several years back. And instead of arguing with her, I started to just kind of think about it. And it made me lash out. and I was hurt and in so much pain, and I didn't realize what happened to me growing up. I didn't understand it. I came from a house of horrors, betrayals, so I didn't understand it. And to me, it was normal. I grew up with it. When people are nice to a narcissist, they don't trust it. They don't like that. Trust me on this. Anyone that's ever been nice to me, it used to make me angry. And I would be upset and try to think, well, what are they after? Like, I didn't trust anyone when you walk out of a house of horrors. So the thing is, like, if you think about it, being a narcissist, your development as a child is broken down. Think of it like this. Think of it like you're at a table and you're trying to build a castle, or no, and you have blocks and you're trying to build this castle, this human being, a beautiful person. Well, if someone's underneath shaking the table, it's not going to come out perfect. And then you have the castle. I was built from a shaken foundation, full of hate, lies, betrayal, pain. So maybe I was able to access my empathy a little bit there with that dog, because the dog can't steal my money, the dog can't beat me up, or, the dog can't betray me or starve me, I don't know. But that was the beginning of it. And then, like I said, my daughter also called me a narcissist, so it didn't change me. I'm not saying the dog changed me, but he had a profound effect on my life, I think. Made me really think and second guess what I'm doing. I guess that's the best way to put it. I was starting to second guess what I'm doing. Why am I always angry? Why? Why am I always mad about something? Wake up at mad, upset, in pain, suffering all day. Jokes and laughter is fine, but they don't last for a narcissist. We don't exist that way. We exist in a world of pain. And that's all we know. That's what we grew up with. Pain is a part of us. And that's not something that is abnormal to us. Dysfunction, all that stuff is what we need. We need drama. We need fighting. We need attention. We need love. I know it sounds weird, but that's the only thing that'll change us, I think, is compassion and love. There's so much pain inside of a narcissist. And I'm not saying to forgive them if they're abusing you. You just have to stop the abuse. I'm just saying maybe don't seek revenge on them. Hurt people hurt people. Okay, so here's the end of the story. I've been trying to avoid it. Well, I was at my ex-wife's house. We went in the kitchen and we made a pizza, and oh gosh, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning. So Jack followed me in there and wanted the pizza, and I was teaching him commands and trying to make him obey me. Narcissist, we need control. So I taught him some basic stuff. We were in the kitchen. I didn't want him around the pizza. So I said, no, go, like that, pointed, and he left. He listened to me. And so I was taken aback by it, because he just put his head down and walked away. And I felt really bad. But I didn't want him to get hair on the pizza. So, that's that. Well, that was the last night with him. So he was laying in the living room, and I'm like, I'm not going to forget you. I went over and gave him some pizza and patted him a little bit. I mean, it was late, and I had to go to bed, so we went to bed, and that was the last time I seen him. The next day I was working, and he had cancer. My ex-wife took him in because he had something He was bleeding. I was working though, so I didn't know anything about it. So he died, and it was very sudden. We didn't know anything was really wrong. We knew he was a little bit sluggish. I just didn't expect him to die so suddenly. And, that actually made me cry. So, to be honest, I've been upset, and I miss that dog, and that was the only dog I ever loved. I grew up with pets, like I said. I was exposed to them many years. This is the only dog that never gave up on me. Like a little John Cena, never gave up. Well, he was big. He was a big fat slob. But I wish I could spend one more day with him. But the dogs are something. So, that's that. Well, I'm going to wrap this up here. And please like and subscribe if you find my content worthwhile for your life. So for today, I do want to thank you for spending time with me. I'm going to start trying to make longer videos. My email's included. If you want to email me stuff, suggestions, or leave it in the comments, either way. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this up. I do want to thank you again. I appreciate your time. I know it's valuable, but now you have to be discarded.